Hi, I'm Chris Gasper, and this is Globe 10.0, joined today by Chad Finn. The Patriots on a little bit of a preseason odyssey here. They're going to play 3 games in 3 different cities in 10 days. Now they're in Tampa with the joint practices with the Buccaneers. Bill Belichick telling his Chargers they have to, quote-unquote, suck it up during this time period. Chad, do you think that this will help the Patriots ultimately, or do you think it hurts them in terms of this condensed, compressed preparation time for the regular season?
I actually think it ends up being a non-factor because of the way Belichick has handled it, not using any of the, as Larry Lucchino would say, varsity offensive players against the Eagles. Gives them a little bit of a break. More of the defensive guys are out there. But it's not going to be something that has any kind of long-term or even real short-term impact. It's just when you look at it, when you see that 3-10, the absurdity of it sets in that you have to deal with this in preseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way it could be a factor, I'm not ready to say it's a non-factor yet, the way it could be a factor is if somebody gets hurt. This is a heavy workload, especially when you throw in the joint practices. Really only one, which is today. It'll be a walkthrough tomorrow. But the potential for somebody to get hurt. If they get through it unscathed, then I say, okay, fine, probably not that big a deal. But if somebody goes down because of the heavy workload, then I have to look at it and say that it would affect them and it would affect their season. The other thing is, I think ideally, if you talk to Belichick and you gave him sodium pentothal, he would say he would like Brady to have played in that second game, but the way that things broke down from a timetable standpoint, he couldn't do it. That's where I think it could potentially hurt their preparation, is that guys are going to have less game time, less time to sort of build up their stamina in terms of getting used to playing in a game. I think ideally most coaches would like their guys to play in 3 of the 4 games and it to be sort of a gradual build-up.
Right.
Now Brady's probably going to go from 19 snaps in the first preseason game to maybe like 3/4 in this game. It's just not a gradual sort of deal. And if they don't play great Friday night, you're probably not going to see a ton of him in that last one next Wednesday against the Giants. So that's where I think maybe it could affect him.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to sort of cram for a test here.
Yeah,
you got
it's a good analogy.
In the same little window. I wonder if it will impact that 4th game where maybe you see the starters a little bit more than you normally would because you almost never see them. But I think a lot of that, too, depends upon how this 3rd game with the Bucs goes.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick will find a way to make the most of it. And obviously, there'll be a point this year where they'll have to deal with this. They are playing on Thanksgiving again this year against the Jets, so that will be a short week. But this is not an ideal schedule. The NFL has handed the Patriots, and there's some other teams with schedules like this, a really tough go of it with these schedules. They always talk about player safety. This doesn't seem that safe to me.